chance. It's just that India was becoming aware of all its body parts. Otherwise, it was willing to explore. It's not that they were not talented. They never thought of it. They were very happy. Like if you see certain states in our country are travelers. Gujaratis, Bengalis, and a few other states like to travel. But it's only recently that Tamilians have become travelers. Keralites have become travelers. Otherwise, they were quite happy sticking to their own place. They wanted to go to America, but never to any part of India. That changed. I think with the advent of television, India itself became aware of its diversity. And they looked at various art forms. Otherwise, you had to wait for Mr. Shantaram to show you the various art forms of India. Television did it instantaneously, and that way I think, and also there was an exchange of talents. It happens every 10 years. Suddenly there's a splurge of Telugu remakes in Hindi, and vice versa. No, I think it's the same. That's why I keep telling my producers, since we have a market there, and instead of letting it go defunct or atrophy without use, you can actually use it, because the cost is only 1.5 times. It amortizes the cost, like you build an expansive set and you demolish it. But if you can use it for 2 different markets, it makes sense. That's what Vishwaroop is all about. It's going to anyway cost this much, whether I make it in one language. Then they say, why don't you dub it? Maybe Bahubali can get away with it because of its period setting. But if you try to convince about Chachi Charsavis, if I had dubbed the film from Tamil, it would not have worked like Chachi, because the sari that Chachi wore, the language she spoke, the vernacular, all of it made it more entertaining and more believable. The suspension of disbelief was there. Actually, coming to think of it, there are certain things you'll have to explain culturally when you switch languages. Like, you'll have to explain why somebody is eating rasagulla in the morning, because it is happening in Bengal. You'll have to tell them, explain to a Tamilian why somebody is eating sweets in the morning, because nobody does that down south. And but with Vishwaroop, it was actually placed in the north. It's more suitable to be a Hindi film. I have explanations like this in the Tamil version, but none is required. And certain times I'll have to explain how Omar Qureshi speaks in Tamil. But there's no such explanation required in a Hindi film. He goes with the terrain. He can speak Hindi. So it's actually more suitable as a subject for the Hindi. That's why I wanted to make it in Hindi. As a matter of fact, I couldn't convince my producers to do Dashavtar in Hindi, because it could have been done, and it could have been even much more effective than it was. I wanted to remake many of my films, but sometimes, like Hey Ram was done in 2 versions. It was a very costly film to make because of the period setting. But on-table profit for me came for Raj Kamal as a production company only in one film called Hey Ram, because we was like in Pushpak I was telling you, we were very careful about how we hedged our bets.